And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome! You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say.
Hey there, Leo. Welcome to Koi Plays Tarot. My name is Koi. I'm going to be your tarot card reader for today. What we're looking at in this round of reads is career readings, right? So what are we doing for our opportunities, our ventures, the things we put our life, well, not our life, because work isn't all about life, and life isn't all about work, but the things that we do for our labor and our time, but also our passions and our efforts, right? Because it doesn't just have to be, a 9-to-5 shift. As a preamble to my reads, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times when things can be difficult to hear or, the conversation gets a bit rough, I don't try to shy away from it, and I wouldn't want you to either, because in the roughness is also where the growth is located. Just follow along with me today in the read, and we'll find out everything that we need to. Sit with the uncomfortable, and it'll all work out. Let's see what the cards say. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Leo and their career read, month of September. What do we need to see, please, for Leo and their career, the month of September? It's getting chilly where I am. Finally adapting to the area. Show me the cards that we need to see, please. For Leo and their career in September. Starting off, over here is going to be kind of like a past, present, future orientation. So over here, okay, Two of Wands, a level of intentionality applied to where we are and where we're going. Two of Swords, Two of Swords, a level of confusion as we apply it. We'll get into that in a second. And the Hermit, the card of Virgo. This is Virgo season, so it's always good to pull the signs power card based on the season. But yeah, let's talk about your opening. That's a very interesting combination right there. So, no, I'll keep it like that. That Two of Wands, right? First card that we drew. It has to do with intentionality and how we push forward. Combine that with that Two of Swords. Well, I'm going to do it. I just don't know how. And hopefully, I got what it takes, trying to trust the wisdom that we have within, the experiences we have accumulated, and saying, hey, this is what we got and this is what we're doing. It doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to look like something. So I saw a Leo, at least in the opening, how we're responding is, yeah, I'm going to trust that whatever path I'm going on, it is right, even though I may not know every detail about how that looks right now. In other words, it was more of a state of action and doing, trusting what's going on, trusting that this was the right choice, and you wanted to follow through with it, not out of bullheadedness, but more to the point of, hey, I'm here now. What do? We trust that we are good enough that whatever we aspired for in this past orientation, Leo, that was the right call. We're not budging on that. We're just saying, hey, I don't know everything that was necessary in this moment. Now, moving towards the more present orientation, the here and now. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, for Leo and their present orientation. That Leo needs to see, please. Because again, I don't see anything wrong with that. You don't have to know everything to make a leap. I think that at times, especially, that's a break. At times, especially when it comes to career, if we get so rooted in the practicality of an idea, it also becomes further distance from us because we're overthinking the primary need for change, which is action, right? So I'm glad we were able to move out of the debate stage, but there's still that lurking curiosity of, what did I not know and how are I not properly with it? Okay, so in your present, Queen of Swords, what do we know to be loud and true? Two of Cups, okay. And with that Two of Cups, the World. Okay, so, Well, let's talk about the Two of Cups first because it'll kind of explain the other parts. Sorry about that. Drank some stuff earlier. The Two of Cups, normally a card of, a deeper bond of intimacy between two separate entities, two separate people. In a career read, especially for you, Leo, what I'm seeing is that whatever you found, we're learning what better fits are, right? Does that mean that is a perfect fit? That's up for you to decide. But what we know to be true is that at the very least, this is right. Right? What I'm in right now, the stage that I'm in, how I'm moving, whatever choice that I made back here that I claim that, I didn't know everything about and I didn't have to because we're trying to move forward and make good decisions. Here, where it rests in a good comfort, almost like a fact of life, that what I chose here is pretty on the nose, right? This is the right thing for me. Is it absolutely perfect? No, but we also know enough to say that this choice back here, even with, not knowing all the facts or not knowing everything that we needed to, we made the right one. And I think that was the biggest lesson about that entire experience was it isn't just about the theoretical of the what if, it's about the try. It is about the try. And so the world, I see that both as an opening and a closing, at least for now. We're going to come back to the major arcana later. But the world, we actually shifted our choices, shifted our experiences, and therefore shifted our journey where a cycle of confusion closes out because, hey, we got here. Right? We are here and now. And so in your present, Leo, whatever you chose, hey, it's feeling good. It's feeling good. Right? Now, does that mean that there aren't, some hiccups along the way? Absolutely not. But what we do have enough wherewithal to say, at least with our present that came from this past of slight confusion, is that, you know what? I'm cool with this. I'm fine. Let's work on it. I see value within. Okay. Moving to the future. Show the cards that we need to see, please. Future orientation for Leo and their career read in September. What are the cards we need to see for Leo in September? Okay, let's see what that holds. The Fool, the Power of New Beginnings. The Ten of Pentacles. Okay, and the Ten of Wands. And so maybe proof is in the life that we build. Why am I saying this? Starting off with that Fool, again, very much a straight line in this past, present, future type of read, Leo. Again, the confusion of the past, the certainty of the present, and now an optimism of the future, right? You pulled the Fool first. Good. We believe in the possible. Whatever we're able to make close out back here, we can firmly say, hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me anymore, right? That is an experience of mine. That is one for the books, but it is not a totality that weighs on me. In fact, what weighs on me, going to those two tens put together, you have the Ten of Earth, defined by Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands, defined by Fire. Whatever I want to build from now on moving forward, that's why I have to decide for myself. Right? Having that underneath the Fool, normally the Ten of Wands is seen as, it's just such a weight that is carried on you as you trudge along. Putting that next to your Ten of Pentacles, especially in a career read, you're actually saying, no, I needed to see this, that chances, even the smallest chances, could lead to the next stage or the biggest steps in life that I need to take. We have somebody here who, after they were able to, kind of take a leap of faith on this one, saying now, well, I mean, not only did I do that, but now I'm left with me. What else is next? Right. I think there was a struggle, at least the common theme throughout all phases, Leo, is that, I had to prove to myself that something could definitively close for me and I could open up my own new chapters. I'm not trying to say, main character syndrome, but the only way to do that is I had to prove to myself that something could be different. Underneath it all, Nine of Cups, self-fulfillment. That our wishes, our aspirations can come true with time, effort, and a little bit of just trusting how things work out. Even if it sounds redundant sometimes, maybe that's just meant to make the point stick and land. Very forward, at least in your opening, Leo. We have somebody who, with their intent, even with their confusion, said the biggest point right now is not debate, it is doing. And if I can push myself to do that, I can push myself to do other things as well. Okay? Move this over a bit. Table's getting kind of crowded. Okay. So, next, let's see the space that lies between. Show us the cards that we need to see, please, in the space that lies between these orientations for the reading. First, between past and present for Leo and their career reading. That's a break. What are we afraid to look at? The reason I'm saying that is most of the decks that I use for the sign-based readings, they differ from one-on-one, but same principle still stands based off of how I do my reads. If they start to break too much, I just ask the first question that comes to mind. But these breaks that I'm feeling, they're not simply bad shuffling. Trust me. There's a recurring theme here that I think that we're trying to get at that's not being directly addressed. Because I saw a lot of the do, now the question is the what. Okay. So between the past orientation and present, Temperance, card Sagittarius. And so believing that our past, it would all eventually work out in the end, right? Hierophant, the card of Taurus, that if we follow a more spiritual calling, follow what, our heart is saying, our experience is telling us that maybe one transition to the next, maybe now is the time. Two of Cups. We find better matches to what we are ultimately looking for. And again, that Two of Cups popped out in your present, so I'm tying that all together. Right now, from your past to the present, Leo, it was kind of, again, forcing yourself to see that it could work out. I think that was the biggest challenge, not just the doing, because surprisingly, with this level of intent and action, the doing in the grand scheme of things was ultimately the easiest part in the transition, which is very weird because for most people, trying to transition is the do, right? It is the biggest lift. It's like, for you, it was the internal, kind of pushing away and blocking out, those false beliefs and those false dichotomies of what could be and what is, that ultimately didn't matter if I can ultimately do the things that are necessary to get there, right? The doing part was easy. The experience, that was the tough thing to prove to yourself. And so now that we have that Two of Cups coming out in your present, from the in-between space to the present, again, these things are just tying into each other, very redundant, but it comes out to the same point of we will get what we want if we're brave enough to make that leap and trust that it's the right thing to do. And between the present and the future, show the cards that we need to see, please. Between present and future orientations for Leo and the reading. See, please, for Leo in their read. In the present and future, okay, King of Wands, let the good times roll with the fire that we have, with the stakes that we're claiming and the efforts that we're putting in. Let them all be abundant and be rightful in their choice come with time. Four of Pentacles, okay. card of investment here, not simply the investment of like bank accounts or like simple monetary things, but here, because the primary theme is not just the path, but the choice to take it, I'm seeing a Leo again, who towards their future is more opening up to the idea that, yeah, what's worth holding on to is not simply the experience or the check marks. It's ultimately the struggle, right? What I'm able to accomplish, what I'm able to get over, that is what was valuable here. Because again, the doing was the easiest part. Now it's the living it. Two of Wands, to remember the fire that got you here. And you drew, it was the first card that we drew in this read. And so putting that together, never forgot where you came from, right? Drawing all the lessons of the past, saying, hey, this is what got me here. This is what can move me into the future. Obstacles become easy when I don't see them as obstacles, right? When I actually identify what's really getting at me, then I can make all the things move out my way. Okay. Underneath the Fool, power of new beginnings. Again, that's what you pulled more towards your future orientation, but the idea that I can look at the world fresh, I can look at everything anew and say, hey, is this my place to be here? Let that be decided. So oh my gosh, this is, while it is very repetitious, and I know reads like this tend to, fly by very fast, I'm also looking at a Leo who, again, trusting the experience was the hard part, not the doing. Trusting the experience was the hard part, not the doing. And that's what makes my job easy. Define the major arcana strewn across the table. Show the cards that we need to see, please, for Leo and their read. Define first. Let's look at that Hermit. Why do we trust our inner voice, our inner wisdom, and all of our experiences that led up to that moment to change? Define deeper the Hermit within this read. We start here. Okay. Hermit. The Moon, the card of Pisces. And that's why I'm saying, okay, so the Moon, what's the easiest way to put this? It represents that which is not immediately made clear to us. And part of us was knowing that, again, that's probably where the confusion came from, is not simply that I didn't trust my abilities or I don't believe that I can do it. It's more so the point of I don't have to know everything, right? And I think that's what bothered you the most back here of like, I have to have everything laid out. The plan has to be absolutely perfect. No, it just came to a point of the perfect plan is understanding that there is no perfect plan, right? It's understanding that, hey, win, lose, or draw, I got here. I made it. Now what? If I'm to say that this is to be true, this is a process that I'm going on, then I don't need perfect. I need me. Next to the World. Knight of Swords, closing and opening, both on action. It's about the do. It is about the do. I'm just going to reiterate that. And I'm saying this now because the Knight of Swords being under that world, Knights are cards of action, swords, air, the fastest of all the elements. Swift, decisive strikes here in your read, and I've been repeating it ad nauseum, but it still reigns true, that it is about making choices. The doing part, we got that under control. It was about making that choice in the first place. To this Fool, Queen of Cups, that we can find what we love and what we want to put ourselves into in terms of a career pathway that can open up, and it will open up with time. It is a burden I'm going to take on to find it within myself to see everything that is valuable first. I saw a Temperance first in this in between. Eight of Pentacles. To trust in my own ability. Particularly, the Eight of Pentacles is the most career-oriented card in my book. A, it's an element of earth, but B, that 8 in particular represents mastery in your craft. If we are saying that we are good enough, then it's not simply about the experience, it's about the choice. The thing that we were leaving out, the key element, the why the plan wasn't perfect, is because it's not simply that we didn't think that we were good enough, it's that we just didn't make a choice with all the talent that we had. Make your choices. to the Hierophant. Four of Cups. Okay. And so now I'm starting to see some elements of dissatisfaction. Here, I think this level of apathy behind the spiritual calling, and this is probably why you had to transition to whatever new phase you're in right now, Leo, is that, yeah, not simply am I getting bored, but this ain't fulfilling me anymore. Whatever this was back here that made me have to change into leap mode to get out of whatever rut I was in, yeah, the signs were all written all over the board, right? I just had to start listening to them and then decide for myself what that choice looks like thereafter. Okay. And let's do... yeah, crossing in the middle. Queen of Wands. The World. Yeah, and when we can embrace what the universe has to offer, and I think in this formation, this is why I like using this particular notion, because it all forms down to about there. If we can learn to embrace, learn to do it rightfully, right? Learn what the proper approach is, not the execution. Again, you figured that out. You figured it out just fine. That's not the issue that we're worried about, Leo. If I can learn to embrace internally what that means to me, and knowing that that process is right for me, things will cycle in and out properly. The World. We're in a stage of new right now. What can I say? And so, resolution. Show cards of resolution for Leo and the read. What is held in space of resolution for Leo and their career read, please? Resolution, we hold Three of Wands. Ooh, I like that. The anticipation of what's on the horizon. You've never been more ready than actually where you are right now. Because again, the doing was the easy part. The living it, that was a difficult experience. Eight of Swords. Moving beyond the experiences of powerlessness. Eight of Swords is oftentimes characterized as somebody trapped in an open air cage. Can they climb out? Absolutely. Will it hurt on the way out? The nicest way I could put it? Probably yes. And it's because the truths that we come to, ultimately, we may not like the answers to. Here, you've never been more anticipating of a horizon. Again, this is very good energy, especially when you apply it to your career. But more than the anticipation, there's the why did I wait? Right? If we're saying that this is the right thing for me, then what was holding me back? It wasn't, all the obstacles I thought I had in my way or trying to make the perfect plan. It was just at the end of the day, I wasn't asking myself or trusting myself on how I felt about making the jump. Underneath it all, 10 of Swords. And so with painful endings come new beginnings. And I'm saying this because at 10 of Swords, a painful realization of, well, what took me so long to get here? I don't want to say I have been my own worst enemy because, again, that type of trope is so played out. But for the Leo I am talking to, we had to admit to ourselves, okay, what did we let rob us of our power, our freedom, our autonomy? And trying to say, hey, if I'm going to move forward right, what can we not repeat, right? That 10 of Swords is where that comes out. And so the 9 of Cups, the fulfillment, the happiness, that is all still there. It leads to this Fool, right? Leads to new beginnings. This painful truth that we have to say that, I could have probably made this jump earlier, but ultimately I had to realize that the only thing that was holding me back was me, right? From whatever next step, next horizon was. And now that I'm here, I can look back and laugh, but ultimately, I just keep moving forward. Gotta keep going. And so that's what I see in your career read in September, Leo. Again, open and strong, staying strong, and it's, a conclusion that kind of smacks you in the face a little bit, but at the same exact time, hey, if that's what it took to get here, then draw from the lesson, but keep going. You gotta keep going. And that's what I see. Overall, I really like it for you. And again, when we trust our voice, we're able to find new answers. That's what I got for your career read, Leo. I hope this conversation was helpful. And again, trust your voice. You get the answers that you need. Take care, okay?